Alright, so I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about over prep. And a lot of people say, well, over prep is no big deal. I mean, what's wrong with over prepping? Doing too much prep. What is too much prep, and how, why would that hurt? And it hurts on two ends. And I'm going to talk to you about this. The reason I'm showing you this house is these guys here over prep this house. Now, if you can see right there, about a foot from the peak to the right, there's a spray mist. They're all over this wall. Okay, I don't know if you can even see it. Okay, but this is the north facing side, so and it doesn't look like a side of the house that many people are going to be going to. So but what I did is I saw these guys sanding this house for, they had 4 guys sanding on this house for 3 days, and they wasted a lot of labor doing that. So they had to figure out how to make up for it, obviously. So nothing, all the raw areas did not get primed on this white area. So what do you think is going to happen? Well, a lot of that stuff's going to start bleeding through. It might not happen right away. They just whipped through and they sprayed the fascias, they sprayed the wall, and that was it. They didn't even, I always brush and roll on my fascia. They just used a cardboard shield and sprayed it. Lays it on the surface on that wood trim. It's always better to go ahead and brush it, and I always brush and roll my fascia because you want it into those cracks and all those areas, and then every area that's raw wood should be spot primed, okay, at least, especially on white. So I just was busy. I was busy, and so I didn't get a chance to video this while they were doing it. I'm driving all over the place. I got stuff going on, Northern California, Southern California, all over the, But then again, when a lot of guys are getting $1 a square foot, I get $25 a square foot for things. It's like, so that's why I drive all over the place. But if you see right here too, if you can see this right here, where the cracks were, you can see where they sanded it, and they didn't put any primer on that, so you can't really tell from here, but it's starting to bleed through already, and it's just not done right. Okay, so why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about over prep? Okay, when you do too much time, you spend too much time on prep, you don't really give yourself the time and labor cost and materials cost to properly cover up your prep that you did. So if you're wasting time covering windows and stuff that you didn't, well, this house, it would cover the windows, of course, but when you're covering up all this stuff and putting drops over everything because you can't spray with it means, and you can't control your overspray, what happens is you waste your labor cost there, so you're not able to spend it where you need to spend it, which is on prepping the right way, which is using primer after you've prepped it, which is taking a piece of sandpaper after the primer's on it and just rubbing it over it, at least to knock off the fur. That's what happens when you spend too much time doing the wrong things. Then you don't have the time to do the right things, because if you're in, if people go, well, I do everything right, well, then you're not a business. You're just a guy who knows how to paint. When you're talking about making a profit, you need to do everything you need to do and do it right, and not waste any time and money on stuff that you don't need to do. So these guys, like I said, they sat there with grinders and sanders for 2 days, and they sanded all this stuff that they didn't even need to sand. I was looking at it, I was going, oh my God, what are they doing? They're just running them over it to make everybody feel like they're doing prep. And then what they did is they didn't prime anything. So, did that help? Did that do anything right? No, they just wasted somebody's time and money, and it's not going to last. So it doesn't matter, the lady's 90-something years old, so it'll last as long as she needs it to, and she doesn't really care. But I don't know, I just don't do things that way anyway. But That's why I tell people, that's why people go, I get comments on my channel, oh, well, you know, well, it's taking pride in your work covering up all this stuff. No, it's wasting labor. Wasting labor, and guess what? It comes right out of your pocket, or it comes out of the customer's pocket, because you wasted too much labor doing something you didn't need to cover, covering up stuff you didn't need to cover, and you're cutting corners on the stuff that you should be doing right. That's all I need to say. All right, talk to you in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe.